Welcome to the Pacifist Podcast. As you can see, it is just me and him.
That's all the ingredients you need for a quality sandwich. We're like the like cheese.
I'll be the bacon. Okay, cheese on toast.
There we go.
Fair enough. Not just a plate of bacon and eggs.
But whatever works.
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar, yeah. Cheese and pickle.
Oh, cheese and pickle.
Quality.
I haven't had that in a sandwich in ages. Oh,
smooth pickle or chunky pickle though.
Well, it's got to be chunky pickle because I'm not a child. I mean,
yeah.
Stupid question, Mushu. Absolutely stupid question.
Valid,
my sister doesn't like the chunky pickle, and I didn't know this until I was maybe 20. And she used to dip her knife into the Branston pickle at Christmas and then just pull it straight back out. And I was like, you've got no pickle on that, right? yeah, basically. She's just drying the pickle out. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I don't like the pickle. It's like, but you're putting it on your finger. I was like, oh, no, I like the sauce. I just don't like the lumpy bits. So
brown sauce. It's like brown sauce, isn't it?
Oh, well, I'd say it's nicer than brown sauce. No? Yeah?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was watching a cooking video the other day. Sam, the food guy, he's on YouTube. Oh, man, he makes the coolest looking food. It's ridiculous. He's clearly a pothead. I started watching it because it was called... I saw this video called Lockdown Munchies, and it was back when, things were serious. Everybody bought all the toilet paper and they bought all the fucking pasta, and mums are feeding Ann Summer cock-shaped pasta to people. And I was like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, who knew in a crisis you could go to Ann Summers to get yourself some basics? But yeah, I started watching him, and he was cooking something, and he called it steak sauce, and he poured it in whatever the fuck he was cooking. And it was just a bottle of HP brown sauce. I always assumed steak sauce would be something a bit more exciting than just brown sauce.
Steak sauce suggests it should have a lot more gamey flavour, like buffalo or something like that. I don't know. And like barbecue, that sort of thing.
Yeah, just something a bit more exciting than brown, because I'm not a big brown sauce fan. I like it in a bacon sandwich, and that's pretty much the only time I fucking use it. And truth be told, I mean, don't tell anyone, I'd rather have ketchup.
Yeah,
I know, right? With a red sauce, please.
Yeah, no, I'm not a brown sauce person either. I don't really see the point in it.
No,
like you say, like I say, it's like smooth pickle, isn't it?
Ugh, you're pointless. Absolutely pointless.
You go in pickle, by the way. While we're on pickle,
onion, I assume.
Is it?
Is it not? Well, I don't know. I feel like you've just made my head explode a little bit. Because now I'm just like, it doesn't feel very oniony, but I've just always assumed it was
Swede or something.
It's not Swede.
Beetroot?
What a ridiculous thing. Beetroot, maybe. I mean, it's kind of got a beetrooty texture, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's not going to be beetroot.
No, but you can pickle Swede, can't you?
Why would anybody pickle Swede?
I don't know, but it sounds like the sort of thing Norwegians would do.
Yeah.
Is that just outright racist? Sorry.
Do you know what? That's really fucking weird racism as well. Because if I think about Swede, the only people I think of, with the exception of Baldrick from Blackadder, are Scottish people. And it was Burns night yesterday, so I might have a whiskey in a bit just to raise a glass to... I don't even understand that holiday.
No, but what a wonderful way to get around to justifying a drink for yourself.
Well, I got a coffee at the moment, and it's not overly exciting. I've got a beer sat there as well, which is great. The best thing about living in a caravan, and I'm sure you can vouch for this, is come winter time, you don't really need a fucking fridge. I just leave my drink on the side. It just stays cold permanently.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I left the milk out the other day by accident, and I got
froze.
I was like, I fucking left the milk out, and it was still fresh as a daisy. It was actually quite cold.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Lovely. Yeah.
I found a new what would be the right word? Exciting new chapter of caravan living. This blew my mind. Okay, so I buy my gas in like massive bottles, and it's just outside, and I've just connected up when it runs out. It's brilliant. I mean, when it runs out, I can just go to a petrol station and get some more. I don't have to worry about cards or British Gas and fucking stupid daily charges, which I don't. I'll get into that in a minute. Anyway, so it turns out that when it's -2 degrees outside, that my gas regulator freezes and it stops gas going inside the house. I was there, and I've literally I had to wait like 10 days to get a brand new big bottle of gas. So I didn't have any hot water for 10 days, which was a pain in the ass. Anyway, so it all comes in, and then in the morning, I'm just like, oh, motherfucker, my boiler's gone out, which is quite unusual. It doesn't often happen. And I try and relight it, and it wasn't happening. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll go test the hob. And the hob lit, and then it just went,
yeah,
it was straight out. And I was like, well, this is unusual. I mean, it's a brand new gas bottle. And I went out there and I tried moving it. I was like, nope, it's definitely full. Weighs a fucking ton. And yeah, I put my hand on top of the regulator. I was like, whoa, that's fucking chilly. I thought nothing of it. I was just like, oh, I just washed my hands in the cold then. I showered the night before, so it wasn't a problem. And just before I left, I was like, oh, I'll have one more little look. And tried lighting the boiler again. It just lit first time. I tried the hob and it worked first time. And then the next morning, the exact same thing happened. And I was like, I bet that's fucking frozen. And I just boiled the kettle. So I just poured a little bit over the top of it. Everything worked fine. So yeah, turns out my gas freezes. It's just, I didn't even think that was fucking possible. I mean,
this is like you say, the joys of living in a caravan. And then you realise that you especially always fantasize about going on these survival shows and things like that. This is the sort of thing you're faced with every day. I mean, probably not frozen gas pipes, but these little complications thrown in.
Yeah, I just watched the latest series of Alone. I don't know if you've watched that, but that's, of all the TV out there, that is my favorite TV show. Do you know the premise?
It's someone's dropped fucking miles away from anywhere, and then they have to survive for longer than everyone else.
Normally, yes. So it's 10 people. Each person has 10 items. This time they changed it that you have to survive 100 days, which nobody's ever done. The previous record, I believe, was 87 days. If they get to 100 days, they get $1 million, which is, I think, a pretty fucking good prize.
It's not bad, is it? It's certainly motivation.
Yeah, definitely. And it got down to 2 people at about 60-ish days. I can't remember the exact details. And then it was just a man and a woman. And the man, I was just like, he's definitely going to fucking win. Or like day 3, he shot this big, well, I don't even know what fucking animal it was. It had horns. I think he called it a musk ox. Right. So it's sort of a bit like a cow.
More like an ox, I'd say.
Well, what's an ox?
It's like a fuck off, dirty, great big cow, innit?
That'll do. A big fuck off, great dirty cow. Anyway, he shot it. The cunt was so big, it took him 5 days to hike the meat back to his fucking house, which he built out of rocks. He built a rock house. It was fucking ridiculous. 5 days, you've got blurry.
I have, haven't I? I'm just.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the whole. I think if you're hunting, you've got to weigh up your energy expenditure against what you're going to be getting out of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a better way of doing it. That, like, you get a lot of meat, but then you've got storage to think about as well.
Oh, it was the Arctic, mate. It was fucking Baltic. Yeah, nothing went off.
The energy you're using of dragging that back, like you say, 5 days. That's a lot.
5 fucking days. Oh, that's 5 days from shooting it, peeling it, putting it into sections.
Peeling it?
Well, you got to peel it, haven't you? Can't just carry a muskox back. It's a big, great, dirty fucking cow.
Some people would use the term skinned rather than peeling it.
I know the proper word is skinned, but it's just more fun to say peel. Well, I said it once. I went on a pheasant shoot. Fuck me. Never doing that again. For one, it was really fucking expensive and I only shot 4 cartridges. I did kill a bird though. Yeah. God, fucking spin it around like that, break its head. Yeah, so I was there and they're like, oh, do you want to take any back with you? And it's like, truth be told, I just don't really want to peel it. And every one of them looked at me like I was a total fucking cunt. And since that day, You don't skin anything, you peel it.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, they were all in, like those fancy country bumpkin shops where it's all sort of tweedy, expensive, itchy looking trousers and jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all in that. I was in full combats with a shamog wrapped around my face. I went full redneck. Yeah, I didn't fit in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think if I was going hunting at all, I'd want to do the sort of American style of like, proper camoed up, like maybe with a bow or something like that.
Nice. I don't think you can hunt pheasant with a bow.
No, and I'd want it to be essential as well.
What do you mean?
I'd want to use the animal that I was hunting. I wouldn't. I'm not a big fan of trophy hunting at all. I think it's pointless. Trophy hunting proves nothing because you've still got a weapon. Go against it as nature intended. Then if you beat it, yeah, fair enough, good, you got a trophy. But
well, I do agree. Normally, I would completely agree, but I didn't eat that pheasant. But every other time I've been hunting, which is only once.
Don't get me wrong. It's not an entirely unhypocritical point of view on my part. I have been on a pheasant shoot and stuff like that. I have been before, but at this point in my life, that is my outlook. If you know what I mean.
Pheasant's not very nice. That's I wasn't hugely impressed by it. I think last time I had pheasant. Yeah, well, I mean, chicken tastes better. I mean, and chicken tastes of fucking nothing. So, yeah, I just wasn't.
Tastes like chicken, apparently.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's because nobody fucking seasons anything over here, do they?
No.
Oh, they're saying that. Oh, I do love a bit of KFC. Oh, you vanished.
Only me arm.
Your arm just disappeared into the bar.
If only we could disappear into the bar, eh?
Oh God, that would be nice. Well, here's to not being able to disappear into a bar.
Which kind of brings us round to probably the most convoluted intro ever.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. In case it wasn't clear, it's sort of unspecified chitter chat this week.
yeah. We were kind of thinking we were missing the bar and shooting this shit over the bar and just talking general bollocks. And it feels like it's been a long time since anyone's been able to have a proper fucking chinwag. And
yeah,
in that time, a lot's happened. There's been a lot to talk about. Weirdly, I mean, not from my point of view. From my point of view, I've been sat inside pretty much in this chair for a few months now.
Yeah, listeners and maybe viewers, what you don't know is Mushu doesn't actually have legs. He's he's a bit like, I don't know if you've seen Fury Road, the Mad Max. The little one who sits looking through a telescope. It's like, Dad, they've turned the wrong way. Like from the top he looks all right, but the rest half of it, he's just mangled.
Yeah, from the waist down, I'm swivel chair. I'm like a budget Davros.
Yeah, exactly that. It's been so shit though. I'm dying to go back to the pubs. And even like the last little respite last year where they're like, oh, you can go to the pub, you got to sit at a table and you can't be with more than 6 people. I'd even take that now just to smell stale beer.
Yeah.
Dirty old people. It's just...
Yeah. Do you know, just on that subject, I know it's been said before and I know a lot of people say it, but that pubs don't smell the same since the smoking ban.
No, they don't. They're awful.
The pubs when you used to go in there and it stunk of stale smoke, stale alcohol. It was a wholly unpleasant smell, but it was always so lovely and comforting at the same time, wasn't it?
It was one of those smells that it would invoke memories of better times, wouldn't it? You'd go in there and you're like, oh, I know that smell, the drip tray smell. That's the only time I get even close to those old days is, like the shitty ale ones. I mean, it doesn't really work on like fizzy lager, but yeah, the shitty ale drip trays, you're like, oh, that takes me back to the 90s. I mean, I wasn't drinking it, but I certainly smelt it.
I'll tell you the fondest pub memories of mine were the old Green Dragon in Petersfield when I was growing up, and from the outside it just looked like sort of a shitty country pub. you know, in a little country town pub sort of thing. You
Yeah.
go in there and it's got the Prodigy playing on a jukebox, you know, something like that.
Nice.
Fucking full of sweaty teenagers, you know, like 18, 19, you know, fucking all younger with their fake IDs, you know. Like I was in there with me. I don't. Wasn't fake ID. Certainly old enough.
At 21 with my driving license.
Yeah, and my fake beard, but my beard. Yeah, but it used to be great. Just go in there, and it was always the same. That fucking layer of smoke just at eye level. So your eyes just burn as soon as you go in there, and you know you'd have all the sort of typical groups. You'd have the weird metalers just like hawking on the fucking jukebox, ready to get in there when the Prodigy finished and all that. It's brilliant. Those are the days, and now we can't even go in them. It sucks.
Yeah, now no one's allowed. I wasn't. I didn't really do a lot of underage drinking because I always looked so young that I struggled. Like even into like my mid-20s, I was always still like it wasn't a problem. I had ID, but I wasn't 18, so I couldn't get fucking served anywhere. The only place that I could get served was on a Monday night at the old tavern in Eastleigh. It was rock night. So from 16, that's the only night of the week I would be able to go out so I could get served as a fucking Monday night. But it was probably the best night out in Eastleigh for me. I mean, there used to be 2 nightclubs when I was that age. But I wanted to do rock night, and as an added bonus, the fucking DJ used to live down my old road, which I didn't find out until I'd been going for about a year. Sorry, my watch is trying to fucking do stuff. I'm just going to take this stupid bitch off before she starts talking at me. And he would burn me CDs. So yeah, he put me onto some wicked stuff. All of which I cannot remember. All I had to do, I would literally just drop him around blank CDs and he'd just burn them off for me. God, man, it was a different time on that.
Oh yeah. You see,
we always
used to. We had these. I think it's probably okay to admit now. We had fake IDs that my mate made because his mum worked at our school. So we had access to a laminator,
laminator. That's what you always needed.
You know it. The moment you got a laminator, you are laughing. You can be the president of America if you want. But we chose our local college because they used to issue college cards. So we made some fake college cards for Alton College, and mine had my mate's name on it because genius. My photo, my mate's name, so it's false name, so it's like extra secret. Yeah,
made you feel such a badass. Could have put yours and just changed the year by a year,
like a spy. Yeah, but anyway, so I used to go into Spa, and what we used to do every weekend, we'd go into our local Spa, and I'd get the big old bottles of Diamond White or something like that god awful acidic cider which just burns a hole right through your rectum.
Yeah,
and we
Barnstormer.
Oh yeah,
Barnstormer.
Or if
so sweet and rots your teeth.
If we were feeling flush, we might go for a Merrydown or two. I don't know if you remember Merrydown cider in the glass bottles.
Fancy.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So I used to go in every weekend, and I'd buy the same thing. And every week, the old woman behind the counter, bless her, she blatantly knew, but to cover her own ass, she'd be like, "Have you got your fake ID? No, sorry. Have you got your ID?" Sort of thing. Have you got any ID sort of thing? So every time I'd be like, yeah, there you go. And then she started calling me Rich because she saw the name on it. She's like, "Hello, Rich. I'm going to need to see your ID again." There you go. So, and all that. For a couple of weeks. And then I went in there one day and she said, have you got your ID handy? Right. And I thought she said, "Have you got your ID handy?" I was just like, fuck, I'm rumbled. Dropped these bottles of Merrydown, smashed on the floor, and just fucking legged it out the door. And it only occurred to me, like, as I was running away, I was like, she said handy, not Andy. I was like, well, I can never go back in there again. Like, literally, my village had one shop, and that was it. I had to go to the next village over from that point onwards because I just couldn't face her.
That's amazing. Did you say Alton?
That was the local college, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Liss.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, there's an Alton nearby.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Oh
yeah.
Literally. Yeah, well, I couldn't throw a stone there. It's quite
another
far.
Interesting fact about Alton. That's where I learned to canoe.
I didn't really like canoeing. I was a bit lanky for it. I mean, like it was fun. It was just getting out at the end. It was such a ball ache. It's like you stay dry, you do really well. You stay dry the whole time. You got that sort of like body condom thing over the top, which is lovely because you get nice warm legs. And then getting out is the most undignified thing ever. And there would always be girls there as well. I went to a school where there was hardly any fucking girls. But yeah, you do that. There would always be girls around when it's being really ungraceful trying to get out of this fucking
Best way to get out, yeah, is you capsize, release your spray deck, and then slide out like a dolphin, mate, because it's graceful and it's kind of badass because you're kind of saying like, look, I didn't capsize at all through that whole thing until now when I want to on my terms. Whoosh, and then you slide out like a merman. That's how you do it.
I ridiculously have done it that way. I went canoeing in the Solent when I went on Navy camp when I was a kid. Hang on, there was a reason behind this because it was the gayest one. So my school, we had to do cadets in the first year that I was there. So it was lower fifth. I don't know what that goes in normal school. This is posho cunt school. So it was lower fifth, middle fifth, upper fifth, and then sixth form. So whatever the fucking 3 years before sixth form are. We had to do it. And everybody did army because the Navy cadets is gay as fuck. So me and all my friends did Navy because every other cunt did army, which just meant we got to do better things because there were less of us. Plus the ratio of girls to boy was a lot higher. Because, I mean, there were like 13 girls in our year. And when 3 of them are doing Navy, none of us got anything. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, so we did Navy cadets and we got to go, we had to go on a camp at the end of the first year. The army one, because there were so many people doing it, only got to go away for a few days, and we got to go for a full week on Whale Island on one of the decommissioned frigates over there, which was actually, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the activities that we did was sailing around the Solent, and it was great. It was proper good. But yeah, getting out, just flip yourself over and wiggle out like a baby dolphin being birthed. It's neither fucking graceful or nice. But yeah, when you're canoeing in a canal, you don't want to be capsizing because it's full of fucking rat piss. So you get like Lyme's disease and all of that shite.
You don't drink it, do you?
You don't.
Well, just keep your mouth shut when you go under.
Yeah, you got to open it up and get the full feeling, don't you? No? That's why I'm not canoeing.
How have you not drowned?
I breathe out at the same time.
No, it's always a good rule, right? If you're going in the water, close all your orifices, whatever you have power over.
I've been doing this all wrong. I literally open up everything on the way down.
Oh,
you know, like when you get a carrier bag,
plastic bag.
Yeah, exactly that. I remember reading one of those survival guides. Do I have it? I mean, I know I do.
Now I'm imagining a capsized canoe with you coming out of it, and it's just bringing the image of a seahorse giving birth into my
yeah, just squirting them out.
Ungraceful and everywhere.
Graceful isn't a word that you can really ever use about me. It's not fair. Although, unless I'm dancing. Very graceful dancer. A fucking terrible dancer. I used to love having a bit of a boogie when I was a bit younger. And then all of a sudden I was just like, huh?
You can't be a graceful dancer.
No, fucking terrible dancer. But you used to get shit faced. Used to love having a little sweat on the dance floor. We used to go to this club called the Dungeon in Southampton. Oh, it was so fucking good. I've probably mentioned it before, but it used to be 50p for a vodka and mixer before 10 o'clock. So at 10 to 10, I would order £20 worth of vodka and orange juices.
As you do.
Just fill a fucking table. And then people would come along and be like, oh, you got a lot of drinks? We're like, here you go, have a fucking vodka and orange juice. It costs me nothing. Yeah. King of the castle.
Like some kind of pimp.
Yeah, pimp with fucking the worst vodka. I don't even drink vodka. I can't stand the stuff. It's horrible. That's probably why, incidentally. But they had a dance floor downstairs, and I'd always go and have a little dance, but the ceiling was quite low. So every time I'd raise my hands up in the air, which was surprisingly often, I'd scrape my knuckles along their roof, and I'd come out looking like I've been in a fight because my knuckles were all bloody and horrible just from scratching on their shitty hard Artex on the fucking ceiling. Oh, I missed it. You know, they turned out it's probably the best alternative club in Southampton. I mean, there were two. There was one called the Firehouse, where a lot of like young. Oh no, Firehouse was a pub.
I think I've been to
Nexus.
the Firehouse. Did they do live music there?
Pass. I don't think so, because it looks like a normal pub, but it's just full of metalers. It's a cool pub. I like it.
Yeah.
You might be thinking of the Brook.
No, it's definitely a Firehouse, but it might be in Bournemouth. Now I'm thinking about it.
I meant to say the Nexus. That got sold and that got turned into flats. And then the Dungeon, they got taken over by new management, and they went from an alternative bar where all the goths and alternative people all just went and had a good time. And you'd see chavs in there, and they'd be looking around like, "Who the fuck is this place?" They'd be like, "It's all right here." As some beautiful woman in like a corset and leather trousers would just walk past them, and they're like, "Well, you don't see this in the Square Balloon." They turned this wonderful place where there was never any aggro into a sports bar. Why? The last place I would ever. I've never been in there since. I'm just like, you turned the best place into the worst possible thing.
That's so depressing. I think the best alternative place I've ever been to was I really hope it's still there. I'd be surprised if it's not. Is in Camden. The End of the World it's called.
Never been there.
Big pub right on a corner, and a lot of people hopefully would know it or have stumbled across it, but it's great. You go inside and it's got like a central island bar, and all the walls are done like the outside of buildings, so it's almost like when you go in you're like in an Italian courtyard. And
that's
like,
kind of cool.
They've all got shop fronts and stuff like that, and there's an upper level with like a balcony and all this, and flowers all along the balcony. So it's a really weird place. And the first time I went in there, they were playing "Walk" by Pantera.
Man, that's anywhere I walk in and they're playing Pantera, I'm like, I'm home.
It's a serious tune, yeah, and it lets you know what sort of place you're in, and you feel comfortable immediately as well, because a lot of people may not know this, but if you walk into a room, into a metal bar or a rock bar or somewhere like that, there's a very good chance you won't get any aggro because everyone's just there for the music.
Yeah. That's why I always like those places.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can get in there in fucking trainers and shorts if you want to. It's no like, you've got to be wearing shoes that you'd wear for an interview. Oh, I've been working. I've worked 45 hours this week.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Fucking wear office shoes. Yeah. Where's your tie? Your tie's not done up properly. Is that a Windsor knot? Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. So there you have this amazing pub, right? But then, as the night gets on, underneath this pub, you go down this big spiral staircase. You've got the underworld. See, you got End of the World, and then underneath it is the underworld, right?
What, like Prince? Yeah, it's a Prince thing, isn't it? The underworld.
I don't know.
Is that? Oh, I thought that was a Prince reference.
It might be. I just don't know much about Prince.
I don't know. Does he class as alternative? Sorry to interrupt you.
I
mean, if you're into alternative music, you're not going to ever turn your nose up to Prince, are you?
No, I guess so,
as musicians goes, he is up. Well, I mean, he's under there now, but
I guess he'd loosely fall into the bracket. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, I don't think he did in the 80s, but nowadays he probably does.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, mate.
No, so and it was basically set up like a club, normal like nightclub, dark, smoky, lasers, and all that. But it had the best thing ever. It had those big plastic sheet doors. You know, the ones the flaps that you sort of pull apart, like in meat lockers and stuff.
I was going to say, were you just in a butcher's?
Yeah. And
okay.
Basically, beyond that, they had a massive walk-in fridge with sofas in it. Right.
Oh, that's what you want.
And it was the best thing in the universe. You get so sweaty and hot because it got to like a million degrees on the dance floor. And then you just go in there and you'd sit down and you just steam. It'd literally be like... And it was
that sounds wonderful.
Good. Literally the best place I've ever been to just for that. I don't even know whether it was expensive or not because I didn't give a shit.
No. Oh, that sounds fucking tremendous. I used to do something similar when I worked in McDonald's on really hot days. When I'd go get a drink, I'd go stand in the walk-in chiller. Just go in there, just fucking stand for 2 minutes.
Not the walk-in freezers though.
I was upstairs.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did that when I was working for a big supermarket, and I nearly locked myself in. It was fucking freezing.
Hope so.
I say I nearly locked myself in. The door shut, and I didn't realise there was a handle on the inside because I'm a moron. So I just panicked a bit. Figured like, well, here I am. I'm going to die. How long have I got? I don't know. Probably about 28 minutes. Sticks in my head for some reason.
Oh, what is that? How long you were in there for?
No, how long you can survive in that sort of temperature.
I was about to ask, how long do you think you could last in a walk-in freezer? Because it's a defrost cycle, isn't it? That kicks in every now and then.
Yeah, but I don't think in extreme cold like that, where you've not got anything, I think you go hypothermic really quickly.
Yeah, but you're not naked, are you? I mean, you might have been sweaty.
Were you? I'm not answering that without my lawyer present. This is why I got fired.
It was Naked Tuesdays at Sainsbury's or wherever you were fucking working. Yeah. Oh God! No, pension day. That was Thursday mornings, isn't it? Oh, Andrew, that reminds me. I need some chipolatas.
Hey, fair.
Fucking would be. Yeah. After 18 minutes in a fucking walk-in freezer. Yikes!
Good Lord, yeah. That's a free sex change right there, isn't
it? Yeah, totally. Oh dear. Yeah, that has been controversially prevalent in my working week. It's been so fucking cold. Woo! Body's a wonderful thing, isn't it? It does protect the things you want to keep protecting. But when you look down and you look like a Ken doll, you're like, where'd you go?
The problem is as well is I don't know if you've noticed, but if you carry a bit of sort of festive plumpness around the waist as well, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of cold to make things disappear.
I don't know if you've ever had this, but someone at work was telling me about this, and I have experienced this, not many times, but once or twice. But sorry, ladies, if anybody is listening, male problems here, but you know when you get so cold that it all shrinks back up inside, but then you try and go for a piss, and obviously most of it's not there. Well, a guy at work was telling me that this is the first time it's ever happened to him, and he's like fucking 38. I mean, he's done really well to get this far. That when you go for that first piss, when you start warming up, but everything's still sort of back inside, and then it just starts expanding out like a water balloon filled with piss. He was telling me, and I was like, "Oh, I've had that," and he's like, "I've never had that before. I tried to take a picture, but it all came out the end before I got a fucking chance to."
No, you see, at this point, I'd like to say I'm really glad it's you that's saying all of this, and not me. But at the same time, I really want to liken it to like a cartoon hose pipe.
Yeah, yeah, just whoops.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh
dear. Yeah, when I had a motorbike was when I first experienced that, because I was riding home in the rain, and I'd never experienced that before. It was the first time. And have you ever had a motorbike?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, so you've usually got the fuel tank between your legs. Now, on the one that I had, the fuel tank was between my legs, but my legs created a bit of a pool, and I basically had my balls in rainwater driving along the whole time. When I got off, it
marinating.
Just sort of went, yeah, it was lovely and clean. Very cold though. Yeah, I've I've not been that cold many times in my life till I lived here, and now it's regular. Now it's just life. Yeah.
No, so in answer to your question, I don't know. I don't think it's long though. I'm sure it was. I've got 28 minutes in my head, and I don't know why. I think that might be the Arctic though, but I don't know. Comparably, I'm assuming the Arctic's a lot colder than a walk-in freezer.
Well, I thought it was the rule of 3. So you got 3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, so that'd be your exposure, and then 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. I thought they were the rules. But obviously, if it's like minus 20 degrees and you're piss wet through, you're going to But then you can move around. You move around in the cold, don't you, to warm yourself up? I mean, if you just sit in there sulking because you shut yourself in a freezer. I'm not a big fan of dying.
Yeah, I know. I get your argument, but I'm not a big fan of moving.
It's a valid argument, I think.
I mean, yeah, I'd if I was out in the wild or something like that, I'd kind of pin my hopes on it. And a bison walking past and dying of a heart attack and just sort of falling over me, keeping me warm.
Oh yeah, I mean it does fucking happen.
Fingers crossed.
Oh shit! I didn't say. Sorry. My point about alone. I had an original point, but I got distracted by the big dirty great fucking cow thing he killed. So it was between a man and a woman. This woman was one tough cookie. She was a bad ass. No, do you know what? I'm going to use the term from Suicide Squad. She was a bad bitch. She got medically tapped because obviously they have to film everything and then they send the SIM cards off to, I don't know, someone just comes and fucking collects them and they start editing it. She got frostbite on her feet. And she documented it brilliantly. You could literally see it coming. She's like, fuck, I think I've got frostbite. And the whole soles of her feet were just black. And she's like, I've got to keep them warm. I've got to keep them warm. Can't stand still. I've got to keep moving and all of that. And then you could see it was like creeping up under her nails. And then they've got these like satellite phones. And she had a text message come through saying, be at your shelter at such and such time. Someone's coming to look at you. And yeah, the doctor came in and just fucking kicked her ass out.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Oh, it is, because she was such a badass. It was absolutely brilliant. Like, she wasn't as bad as the guy who lasted 100 days. But I was a bit disappointed because once she left, it just did like a fade from, I don't even know what day she left. I think it was like 60, 70. And then it just went to day 99. They didn't show any of the other fucking days. It was like day 99. This other guy's like, oh, I've got one more day. Then it cuts to day 100. He's like, I've marked it off on my tree. I'm at day 100. I suppose I'm now a millionaire.
Thing is, I guess it wouldn't make very good viewing though, would it? Like, because after a while, you'd get used to it. It'd become like a way of life. Sort of wake up in the morning, go for your morning shit, go out, go hunting, go fishing, whatever, come back, get some wood. And if you do the same thing every day, it's like, it'd be difficult. You'd want to throw in a bear attack or something like that for a bit of extra footage, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there must have been something over like that 30 days though. Just skipping out 30 days worth is just a bit of a cop out. I mean, he was so interesting. The stuff he did. He caught, as I say, caught fucking muskox on like day one. And was eating it the whole time. His show was absolutely brilliant. He was ice fishing. Oh, pardon me.
Are we keeping
beer and a coffee? No, I've just had a coffee and a beer. I wasn't so much yawning as more burping. As wonderful as that is. Yeah, it just felt like a little bit of a cop-out. I mean, something must have happened during those days. And normally, or you say it could be boring, the normal series is stupidly boring because that's just a game of last man standing. Usually somebody gets so thin that the medical team kicks them out and then they wait a day and a helicopter just turns up with somebody's loved one. Saying, oh, you've won. And the footage for the days leading up to that usually consists of people in a sleeping bag trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
Most of the series end with somebody in a sleeping bag just being like, oh, well, this isn't going to be very interesting because now I'm just literally trying to stay warm for the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't really appeal to me doing that.
It really does to me. I don't understand why they always do it. Like right up till Christmas. It's always. It might be something to do with hunting seasons because hunting seasons are pretty much always during the winter as opposed to during the summer, and they've got to stick to whatever regulations are applicable for each individual area. But yeah, I don't really understand why it always has to be in the fucking freezing cold. I would like to see one. I think the show would go on longer and it would bring a whole new dynamic if they did it. Maybe if they can't start in the winter because it doesn't give anyone a chance to get any food. But I don't know, start at the beginning of summer. When everything's all grown and you can root around.
I guess the idea is that it's to make it more punishing, isn't it? It's
it definitely is
endurance thing if it's at winter. But there's no reason why they couldn't go the other way. Like, just get a load of crazy Texans or something like that and chuck them out in the middle of the deserts in Utah.
Yeah,
Like, there you go. You've got to survive for a couple of weeks in this heat, sort of thing. That would be good to watch.
So on board with that. Well, I mean, that's pretty much the premise of Naked and Afraid, isn't it? Take your kit off. Here's a knife. Go stay out in a fucking desert. Try not to get sunburn on your balls.
You know what? I know exactly what my luck would be on that show. We're like, take your kit off. There's your knife. Right, you're in the middle of nowhere. Off you go. I turn around and I just bump into a random wandering policeman. He'll be like, why are you naked with a knife? You're coming with me. And I'll be like, fucking this again. Here we go. Yeah? That's why I'd never do something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I hate that show. Everything about that show should appeal to me, but the fact that they're naked really gets on my nerves. I just don't think it brings anything to the show. I mean, why can't it? Yeah, what's so hard about giving someone a pair of flip-flops, a shorts and t-shirt? At least then you have to like censor out all the ghoulies the whole time. Nobody just walks around with a blurred bit. It's like watching Japanese porn. It's just rubbish. It's like, just put some pants on them.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, I know
nice bathing suit or something like
that. Well, I mean, the only people who do it and that are up for it are people who just like being naked. There's always a bunch of other people who would be great at the show, but they just don't. Like, I would love to give those kind of things a go. I ain't get fucking naked on TV for 28 days. Fuck off.
No, this is what like you know that program Naked Attraction. Is it Naked Attraction, the dating one?
Yeah, that's a fucked up show.
The bit that gets me right is like you go up and you see the vag and the willies and all that sort of thing, and it comes up and it's like, right, so you said goodbye to Blue, and it's like, my name's Peter and I'm an English teacher from Guildford. And you're like, what? You're fucking what? You literally just had your hanging old balls out on TV, and now you're telling everyone that you're a teacher. Why? And like these people, and like even accountants and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm an accountant from Shrewsbury. Marvelous. And you're going to go, so you're going to go back into work. Like, oh, morning, Deborah. Nice piercing.
Have you noticed they pretty much always? I haven't watched too much of it. They pretty much always choose the person with the biggest dick, and when that happens, you know when that's going to happen because it'll always be the smallest dick and the biggest dick left, and then they line them up, don't they? And the other person takes their kit off, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to pick B, big dick man," and then you just see this like poor little dick guy just walking away, and you're like, he knew he was never going to win. Not when there was that hog swinging down by his knees next to him.
The best thing, though, is when they always like, so, what do you think of him? Get them to judge each other. What the fuck? I'm like, well, he's ripped. He's got a massive schlong. You know, I'm here with my gut and my fucking tallywhacker out. Yeah, good luck me. Cheers.
It's when they look down, they're like, yeah, it's quite the specimen he's got, isn't it? Yeah, it's funny, but I mean, some of the best TV has come from that show for me. I saw this one with this little old lady who worked in a church. Oh my god, it was so funny. and I don't know if you've seen this.
I haven't really watched it that much.
I think her name was Brenda. She's got a little fucking Yamaha keyboard out. She's like, she loved God for so long. She was like all about the church. And she's like, oh no, now I want some time for myself, which just means fucking. And she gets her keyboard out and she's playing like some shit fucking hymn. And she's like, oh, I love a man who can dance. And you've got all these old boys in the background just fucking dancing to like Amazing Grace or whatever she's fucking playing. And then she's like, oh, I like to take food into the bedroom. And she's made a cake with like clotted cream. And she goes up and feeds all these old boys bits of cake while she's fucking stuck bollock naked. It was like the best and worst TV I've ever seen in my life. It was so good. Oh, we totally should have had the
following Sunday. Thank you all for coming. I think we all know what today's sermons is going to be about, don't we, Brenda?
Yes, uses some clotted cream in the bedroom. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, that takes some gumption, doesn't it, going on that show? And I've often thought, like, would I have the balls to go on there? Like, no pun intended. And just no. Just no. Just no.
No.
Absolutely.
I reckon Zach could probably go on it.
Almost definitely. Yeah. He'd probably pay to go on it.
Of all the people I know, I think him. Do you know what? I've got another friend called Zach. I think, though, maybe it's something to do with the name. I reckon both of them would probably go on it if they were in the right situation too. I reckon they've got the confidence and all of that to do it. But yeah, it's not for me. But as for watching it, the presenter's brilliant as well. She's so funny.
Yeah, she is quite good, isn't she?
Yes, it's when it goes up to the first level, so it's just cock and balls. And then the person goes over and they're just like, they probably get in, they're just like, there's a bit of discoloration on that one. I don't like the look of that. It's just like, that's got a nice length, but I do prefer a bit of a chode. Oh, man. Yeah,
so, for anyone watching or listening, just drop it in the comments if you if you'd consider it or not. We won't make you do it, I promise. Just like, I want to know if there's anyone out there that actually, well, obviously there is, but I want to know who they are. I want to out them. They're
want their numbers.
Well, yeah.
It's just such a weird way of. I don't think it's not like Blind Date where people actually like click and get on, is it? In fact, it's the exact opposite of Blind Date. It's as far removed from Blind Date as physically fucking possible. It's literally there's nothing left. I've seen everything. I've seen what. Oh God!
I think if someone was surveying me from the floor up, I think, and I made it to the last round, I would definitely say the word tenacious was applicable to them. That's, to still be there, to still be putting up with my visual onslaught on them. It would be it wouldn't be pleasant.
I don't even think I'd make it past the knees, mate. I mean, people would just look at my feet and be like, "Oh, is he like some sort of oversized hobbit?"
Oh, it's like a gargoyle.
Yeah. It's like, I asked for human men, not some sort of beast with trotters. What the fuck?
Not that cloven-hoofed monstrosity.
Yeah, I smell sulphur. Have you let the fucking demons from hell out? Yeah. Oh no, it's not for me. Not in a million. I mean, for £1 million, I probably would. I mean, there's my price. But yeah, not for just some date.
Then, on the flip side of that, like, I don't think I could pick a woman like that either.
Oh no, I fully disagree. I definitely could. Well, it'd be like it being in a sweet shop, wouldn't it?
Because, and this is going to sound super gay, right? But a lot of
break from the norm.
A lot of how I perceive a woman is in their face.
So you want to start at the top and work your way down?
You see, I can't.
Do you know what? That kind of makes more sense.
I don't think I can. I can't apply the word beautiful to someone until I've seen their face, if you know what I mean. Like, because I've watched this show enough to know. Like, you see the ladies' bits come out, and you're kind of like, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah, I like that. What the fuck? Yeah, that's good, and all that. And you judge them, you do. And some are nice, some aren't. But you can't really. The whole package isn't there until you see the face. And I think
these people aren't going to walk around day to day with just everything hanging out, are they? I mean, they go on a date dressed, which always seems really alien. At the end of it, it's like, why have you got clothes on? What are you doing? But yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's the weirdest way to rank a person from bottom up. Top down, maybe. You'd be like, oh yeah, you got a pretty face, you can stay. Oh, don't like the look of you, off your trot.
Well, that's it. I mean, if I was being completely shallow, it's kind of like it's like checkpoints, isn't it? You sort of do the face, check, face check. But if the face isn't there for whatever reason, beauty's in the eye of the beholder and all that. But if you're looking at the face and it's not doing it for you, there's no point wasting your time. Nothing below the face is going to convince me at that point. That's to the extent that I feel that.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's just it's not for me. I don't want to pick people like that. You know, maybe
think
if I was a
anyone does.
Roman back in the olden days, that's how they used to sell slaves off, didn't they? The only thing they'd be wearing was like a collar around the neck. You're like, oh, nice collar.
They used to check their teeth as well. Like, give it
They
all
don't do that in Naked Attraction, do they? Here's a bit. Open up.
I mean, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? Just approach the whole thing like an Egyptian slaver. Just like, so who do you want to go and see first? And I'm like, orange, please. Just go up, fucking slap their ass really hard. I'm like, Look at the bottom of their feet. Yeah, that's nice. Get the mouth open. Look in there.
Hold your hands out. I want to see those calluses. Oh, you've clearly never mopped, have you?
Yeah. And then just flick them in the forehead just for good measure. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll get rid of orange.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's just a fucked up show, man. Did you see that other one? You see, I only watched one episode of it, but I think it was the same lady. Where I don't know what it's called, so I'm going to call it "Fucking in a Box."
Sex box.
Oh, okay. I was pretty close.
Yeah.
I saw one of those, and that was weird. A couple would just go and fuck in a box, and then come and talk about the fucking in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt weird. I mean, Channel 4, they're always pushing boats out, aren't they? It's the first live autopsy, first fucking in a box on national normal TV. I mean,
see, fucking in a box as well, because I don't know about you, but I'm not a consistent man. You know, sometimes I'm a lengthy lover, and other times it's a brief but excitable affair. You know? But I know for a fact that it would be one of those days that I'd go there and film. I'd go in and like the door would open again, and they'd be like, "Oh, do you need something else?" I'd be like, "No, I'm done."
Oh, is it too cold for you, is it, Mushu? I've just finished.
Yeah, just walk out. Like,
yeah, it just wouldn't work for me. I'd just be like, no,
I think
happening. Too much
some
pressure.
Things, the excitement of some things is because they are not for everyone to see, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't want to fuck in a box. I don't want to pick people by their nakedness.
For what it's worth, I don't think I'd want to watch you fuck in a box either.
How rude. Comment below. Yeah, all the comments would be like, bring back Rambo. Was that handsome shaved one?
We're going to ditch the other two features for this episode, since there's only the two of us, and we're just going to enjoy some videos and make a little bit more out of this feature for the minute, aren't we? Apologies to the listeners, but you can probably guess what's going on anyway.
I love all the YouTube clips. YouTube clips is my favourite thing about doing this at the moment. I mean, it's better when it's not just loads that I've already watched and sent over to you, which, spoiler alert, is sort of the gist of this evening's.
It was like fucking spam. I was just trying to get to sleep, and bing, bing, bing. Oh, another one, bing. I could only assume he like got drunk and fallen into a YouTube hole or something.
I did go down some holes. I was looking for a very specific video and I couldn't find it. But Sophie's not here, so I've got more time to find it for the next time. It's a good one. It's yeah, it's horrible, but it's great.
Yeah. Well, I've chucked a couple in. We've just selected a few of Sam's, and I've chucked a couple in as well. So, you ready?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. What are we watching first? Well, I'll find out. I'll read the title in a minute.
Starting off with one of yours, mate, I think.
Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, yeah, this is funny, but it's subtle. Right, so for all of our audio-only people, there's a bear at the moment fucking up somebody's fence.
It's having a scratch. That's what it's doing. It's loving life. Look at that. It's getting well into it.
Yeah, he's having a scratch. He's biting onto something. There's like a big wire thing. Oh! He just got whipped in the... Look at that walk. That's exactly how I react when I get whipped in the bollocks. Look at him. He's like, that really hurt.
I've just got to watch that again. Sorry.
Yeah. I missed it the first time. Oh,
because it's a whip shot as well, and that. When you got to spread out.
You know, you can see it. It captures, you know, that feeling when you get whipped in the balls and it like travels up through your insides and you can just feel it like in your core. It's like, oh, there's no other pain like it. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, that bear.
The great thing is though, he does what every male would do in that situation, tries to style it out and then realizes he can't.
It like, just collapses.
Didn't hurt that much because you can see the moment. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, okay. It doesn't hurt that much.
Take a step.
Just walk away. Walk somewhere safe where you can scream, oh, I can't walk.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for that, but I came down it on a rabbit hole. I was like, well, that's too good not to share.
I feel for it. I really feel for it.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. This is one of my little offers of ridiculousness. I don't know why I find these so amusing, but I could watch these for hours. But this is quite a good one. So, I'm not a big fashionista.
I might have seen this.
See, already you're
Look at his
thinking,
ankles.
like, yeah, I know.
Oh, was this an ankles one, is it? Oh, shit, son. Oh. I don't understand how ladies wear those torture devices on their feet. Look at these guys down the bottom left-hand corner just clapping. Oh, yeah, good job.
Yeah, just clap. They'll never notice it went wrong. Yeah, I love those videos because I don't know how their ankles don't break in numerous places from that. I mean, and you see, it really sort of adds. It does make you think that people think that supermodels and that have it easy and all that, but fuck me, I would never do that job. But like the stuff they have to do,
their job is sort of kind of like a mini postie job, isn't it? It's just walking. I mean, I don't have to walk in any particular way, but I do.
The weirder comparisons I've ever heard.
I sort of have to stay on my feet, and she couldn't even manage that. So, oh, but God, that looks so painful. How's it turn like that? Jesus Christ!
And with everyone as well, you know, she's trying to rescue a little shred of dignity with every single stumble. A little bit more dignity falls out, and just, oh no. But,
yeah, anyway, not good.
Onwards and
not
upwards.
Good at all. Yeah, onwards. What's next? What we got?
I dread to think. I've seen the title of this, and I wish I hadn't.
I don't know. I sent these so long ago. It's a mystery. What's the title? Oh yeah, we'd have to watch it. This is fucking brilliant. I can't work out if this guy's taking the piss or not.
I think it's This Country.
It looks like it. Yeah, we probably can't watch the whole of it, but. So you know that guy that Rambo always used to play us? You can stop it here. That's enough of him. You know that guy? I think his name might have been, I want to say Joey, but I'm not 100% sure. You know the one I was always taking the piss?
I know the one you mean, yeah.
Yeah, every Friday night we'd be playing Call of Duty and he'd just be playing this god-awful fucking music. I saw that and it just made me think of him. I can imagine him all dressed up in his sparkly little sequin jacket with a wig on and just singing terribly.
So little nod to Rambo there.
Yeah, totally. But I love that because I presume everything about that is not him being serious, and that is like pure just British humour, isn't it? You've got all those douchebags just walking around during the last lockout. We had one in Eastleigh. There was this woman walking around holding a candle in like a fucking wanky ball gown, singing opera down the streets, and I'm like, know your fucking audience, love. You've got kids walking around with speakers who should be arrested, playing mumble rap and shit like that every single day, and then you've got this woman just walking around singing opera terribly. It was so awful. So I presume that guy has seen those videos and he's like, I got you, fam. I'm around the world.
It does kind of annoy me about buskers though. They sort of fall into two categories, don't they? There's the ones which are just genuine, absolute fucking genius, and you don't understand why on earth they are stood on the street, and it's probably because they just enjoy doing it,
or drugs.
And then you got the others who are the kind of the people that want to be big musicians, but can't be, and haven't taken the hint that they get no's from everyone, and so they end up busking, and you just think like, just fuck off with your noise. It's horrible.
I love a good busker. I
love a good busker. The shit ones though can all die.
Well, yeah, but you don't have to stand and watch them, do you? I mean, I don't see a lot of them anymore. There's usually some guy in Easter, he plays a saxophone. I don't really like the noise of saxophones. I find it's just ugh. It reminds me of like Simply Red. And you know all that shit music from the early 90s that everyone's mums used to get all just a little bit too excited over, or maybe just mine. I don't know. But yeah, every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh God, it's like porn music, except without the porn. Yeah, so I don't particularly like saxophones, but you go down Winchester on the other hand, and there's usually fuckloads of buskers, and sometimes they're pretty good. I like it. Adds a little something. I mean, obviously you're not allowed outside at the moment. No, a little something. Yeah, you can't go outside, you can't congregate. Rubbish. But still, you can watch gems like that on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
If you want some dancing in the street.
Well, let's move on to the next one then, shall we?
What have you got?
Well, you're quite a manly man, aren't you, Sam? You're quite the man. Very manly man you are, I would say.
Okay. I feel like this is...
Well, I'm just looking forward to how manly the next video is going to be.
Okay.
6 hilarious beauty vlogger fails.
Oh, this is great. Check this shit out.
Ici et vous coupez ensuite.
Yeah. So you cut it in a straight line and...
Mais ça ne me respecte archi pas. Regardez ça. Non mais là, il n'y a aucun respect.
Yeah, go on then, love. Cut that. Oh, that's not a straight line, darling. Oh, you cut your finger.
She's on herself.
Oh.
You can't comb it out, love.
At least she sees the funny side of it.
So
oh, yeah.
Noise, but you shouldn't be scared.
These are the best ones.
So that's basically...
that noise is totally normal.
Oh,
what's that, love? Hair's on fire.
That's funny or longer, actually.
Surely you've seen this one.
Yeah.
Where'd the hair go? It's like a magic trick.
My hair just burnt.
You can so go, wouldn't you?
I didn't see this. Oh
my god. This side is so much more. Oh my god.
And you'll get that nice...
Oh, man.
Yes. God damn it.
Oh my god! What happened?
It's almost
I
ready.
don't get that one.
God damn it!
I think that was him fucking up his makeup.
Oh. Was he trying to do blackface at the end there? I didn't get to the end of it.
I don't think he was trying to. I think it just happened, and he got very, very, very annoyed about it.
Oh, very dramatic. I mean, he's probably massive in the world of YouTube beauty vloggers, which I don't tend to watch, but I do. I looked it up because I remember watching a video a little while ago. It was like some life hack video where these pretty American girls were like, "Oh, if you haven't got a curling iron to hand and it's a really fucking hot day, try this." And they wrapped it around like a baking hot fence. Like an iron bar fence. They just wrapped the hair around it. And this girl's hair just pulled off. And I was sort of looking for that. And then I came across that one instead. Because I just think it's so funny when people are like, oh yeah, you wrap your head around this really fucking hot thing and just hope it doesn't just fucking break off and catch on fire.
Yeah. Everyone knows they make everything fireproof out of human hair, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
how good were those fringes?
Oh,
you got it in a straight line, it's like this.
It's the arrogance of it though, like, I mean, I'd assume that they go to professional hairdressers normally to get their hair cut.
Yeah.
But then to just think like, I'm going to record myself doing my own haircut. How hard can it be?
Piece of piss.
I've never seen
it is a bit of scissors, mate. It's not like they have a couple of years fucking training and apprenticeship, so they have to fucking go through everything. And when has everyone been like, oh yeah, you know what, to cut a straight line? I remember the bowl haircut when I was a kid. I was about to say brush it down, but I suppose they cut it down. Not really a problem for you, Mushu. But yeah, they brush it down and then they go like this. Never once has my hairdresser been like, right, we're doing it in a straight line. We're going to bunch it up here and then we're just going to snip it all at once. Because all the hair comes from one spot, doesn't it?
That action that second woman had, the sort of over-the-top rainbow sort of style action where she actually nearly cut her finger off.
It was her reaction. It's like, oh, I cut my finger. And then she looks up and sees that fringe. So good.
That's some terrible haircut, isn't it? It's that bad that it takes your mind off the fact you've nearly just snipped your finger off.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the lady equivalent of the bloke's lockdown haircut of shaved. Incidentally, I've got a hat on because the hairdressers are shut, and it is just a fucking mess at the moment.
I gave myself a haircut today.
Did you? Well, bravo! You didn't cut your fucking finger off though, and look at that fringe; it's so even.
Thank you very much. Thank you
very welcome. You should do a vlogging tip on it.
Maybe I should. Yeah, just get a towel and
shine it up like a bowling ball.
Okay, so we're going over to Russia now because I love Russians.
They do some crazy stuff.
Fucking love Russians because they're all mental.
That they are. All guns.
Антуражных гранатах производства Зевс, которые к нам приехали.
Grenades.
Oh dear.
Отличительная особенность этих гранат.
Don't worry, this man's a professional. What he's saying at the moment is that he's a professional.
Oh yeah, make sure you keep your grenades in a safety pouch. That'll keep them safe. That's explosive proof, isn't it?
Don't worry. He knows exactly what he's doing. Look, he can take the pin out.
As long as you hold down that arm, it's fine, isn't it?
Чеку. Отжимаем скобу. Ой, блин.
Wait.
Вы с ума сошли, что ли?
and that's the reason I chose that for that clip. It's just the guy at the end.
That was brilliant. Again, for listeners only, that Russian guy, I don't know if you can speak Russian, which I can't. He was like, oh, yeah, so this is my grenade. It's fine. Pull the little pin out. And then there's like an arm. And if that flicks off, it's fucked. It's going to go off. And it flicked off. He's like, shit, lobs it in a cupboard. Where there's a man.
He fucked it badly, yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't a proper grenade, though. Jesus Christ, he wouldn't have come out in one piece, that's for sure.
All that makes me think, though, is I would love to work at that place. You know, in a place like that where health and safety is out the fucking window. Hey, Dimitri, come look. We have new rifles. Put on this chest. Put on this chest plate.
Yeah. Start up the camera. We're going to record a video for the YouTubes.
We'll be next internet virus.
Oh, that was a noise. Oh dear. Are there any more?
Sam, yes, there's one more, and it's one of yours, and I've just seen the title. I thought we'd got away with it.
Nature. This is my nature video, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcome to nature, people.
I've not seen this yet, but I'm gonna say already, viewer discretion is probably gonna be advised here.
It's nature. It's a beautiful thing. And just remember, this is in a payback from. There's a little chicken. Eating a fucking mouse. 2 chickens trying to eat a mouse. Look at them fucking go. They're horrible little bastards, aren't they? Can you go back to the beginning, Mushu? Because we don't need to see him tear off a mouse. That's just nasty. But I'm pretty sure at the very start, yeah, look, there's a fucking cat.
Yeah.
The cat was going for that mouse, and the chicken's like, fuck you, cat. This is mine.
Okay. Thanks, Sam.
You are welcome. No, but in last week's, everyone got a little bit upset that I chose a video of a horse eating a chicken. So I thought, chickens aren't all innocent. Some of them are bloodthirsty little pterodactyls. Not pterodactyls.
For me, it sums up 3 distinct words. What the fuck? And then followed by possibly who's wrong with you. But no, I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it? It's another little fascinating glimpse into nature. Who would have thought that chickens fucking chase mice?
I honestly, I didn't realise that they were such carnivorous little fuckers. I was looking up cat videos at the time.
Have I said about pandas yet? I keep meaning
What?
to say about pandas because it comes up quite a lot, this theme of animals eating other animals randomly.
No, elaborate,
Well,
please.
I didn't realise that pandas are omnivores. I always thought they lived solely on bamboo.
Well, they do,
but
don't they?
apparently, they will eat meat or whatever you give them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
pandas are the shit, man. I watched a fucking panda video earlier of one not wanting to give up its owner. Not owner,
Yeah.
its keeper. It was trying
Funny
to get rid of it. It was
I was
hugging on
watching
it.
panda videos earlier as well.
And yet we have no panda videos to share.
Because panda videos just upstage you. Completely upstage you. If we played a panda video now, there'd be no point in playing anything else, doing anything else. Because
No, we just put a link to a fucking panda video. I mean,
Yeah.
they've got to be the coolest animals.
Hmm.
They're just
I
so
often-
funny.
I often attribute my job to being a panda keeper.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like you're trying to sweep up one bit of mess, and then you turn around and they're all fucking rolling down the hill out of control or something like that. It's a constant nightmare.
I think the problem with the reason is they're just so fucking cute, aren't they? When they're little, they're the cutest thing in the world, and when they're big, they're still really fucking cute. It's just that they're just big.
Almost to the point where you wouldn't mind getting mauled to death by one.
It's not going to maul you to death. It'll have a sniff and it'll be like, oh, bamboo, yum.
Maybe not. Well, it depends. Yeah, you might smell like bamboo.
I don't smell like bamboo. I don't think I smell like. I don't even know what bamboo smells like.
Well, there you go. Let's hope.
What does it smell like?
Smells like you, Sam.
Fuck. Now I've got to worry about you eating me, Jeeves eating me, the fucking pandas are going to eat me.
On the upside, I don't think I could fight a panda. So you probably wouldn't have to worry about me because they'd just frighten me off.
Why couldn't you fight a panda? They've got no fight in them. They just want to cuddle and roll down hills.
I've got a list of animals that I think I could take on in a fight.
Let's hear it. Go on, top 3.
Well, I haven't. It's just like as I see an animal, I'd be like, "Ooh, I wonder if I could take that on in a fight." Like most fish, I'm fairly happy with up until sort of like cod size.
Cod size, specifically cod size.
Yeah, and anything above that, I think I'd struggle with. Rabbits, I'm fairly happy. I could take on a rabbit. Bit iffy about foxes. Badgers, no. Badgers aren't on the list.
I would rather take on a fox over a badger because badgers are vicious little bastards, and they're surprisingly big.
Yeah, I haven't put any insects on the list yet because they frighten me, and I'd just rather not think about it.
And we all know you can't kill a wasp.
And that, yeah. Birds. Now, birds are an interesting one. I'm fairly confident, like sort of little ones, like maybe a robin. I could take on a robin, but once they start getting a bit bigger, I've been pecked by a blackbird, a pigeon, and a seagull, and all of them fucking really hurt. And I don't think I'd like that much.
Yeah, but I myself, to jump in or weigh in, if you will, on the bird front, I'm fairly confident that I could, if I knew I was going to have a confrontation with a bird, I'm very confident that I could take on pretty much any bird if I knew it was going to happen.
And arrogance will be your downfall.
However, that's on a 1-to-1 basis. I mean,
yeah.
I'm dubious about swans. One swan, haven't got a problem with. I don't believe the myth that they can flap their wings and break their legs. They could probably break a child's legs or someone with brittle bone disease, but the fucking ham hocks that support me, I think it'll just give me a nasty bruise, and then I'd give it a backhander. Or I'll just grab it by the neck and swing it around like a lasso. So I'm fairly confident I could take on most birds 1-to-1. Although I say that, not like a bald eagle or like a hunting bird.
Like any kind of raptor would rip you to fucking shreds. Even a falcon over here, a buzzard, would tear you apart, mate. You wouldn't even get close to it.
I'd get my hoodie out, just net the fucker, and then swing it around. Swinging around seems to be my theme for taking out birds, by the way.
Okay, fair enough. It's nice to have a theme for it.
Yeah, I don't think I could take on an ostrich either, actually. I'll take it back.
Yeah, you got owls, bats. I wouldn't want to take on either of them because it'd probably be in the dark and they'd win.
A bat isn't a bird. Is it? Is it?
No,
No, it's not got feathers.
No,
it's got
a
fucking.
mammal. Is it?
Yeah,
No, is it a mammal?
No,
it's
birds are
not a
mammals.
No,
I
it's
know.
not a lizard.
It's not
I
a
started
lizard.
talking and my mouth said lizard. No, what is it?
Oh,
It's-
birds are mammals. They just have eggs. No,
Birds
mammals
aren't
are. No, they're not because they have eggs. My bad. No, sorry.
What the
What the
fuck?
fuck? What the fuck are they called then? Because they're warm-blooded,
They're mammals. They must be mammals.
but they have eggs.
Bats?
No, birds, you dick.
Oh, birds. They're birds, aren't they? Fucking birds. It's just like aliens.
That is not an argument. No, they're not fucking mammals. They're birds, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but mammals carry their lung. They carry their lungs as well. They carry their young, don't they? They don't. I don't fucking know this again. Why I'm a postman? Because I just don't know shit all.
I was going to say that was some swampy knowledge there, wasn't it? On both of our parts. It's very dubious.
No knowledge at all. This is one of those very few occasions where I miss having Jeeves to Google shit. Oh, fuck me.
Donkey. Do you reckon you could take a donkey on?
I'll give it a fucking go.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it didn't have like a baby, because funnily enough, one of the YouTubers I watch regularly has donkeys, has two donkeys, and one of them was pregnant and it gave birth. And when it gave birth, motherfucker was protected. It was bucking and kicking all over the show. But if it was just like walking towards me, I'd give it a go.
No, you see, I haven't got the endurance for it. I reckon I could do some damage to it, but I reckon that motherfucker could outlast me. He could just, I reckon I'd be whacking away at it for ages. They can take some punishment. I'll just get knackered and die in the end.
I wouldn't be going for the whacking away. I'd be going for get around the neck and put it in a chokehold.
You're going to choke out a donkey?
Well, I mean, you've asked me the question, and now I'm just trying to work out how I would do it. And I'm not going to be like, come on then, you little fucker, you're this. It would be a case of I'll just try and get round its neck and, choke it. How would you try and take on a donkey then? There's a donkey, it's staring you in the eyes. You're not looking at its ass, because face to ass to face, I ain't winning. No chance. Face to face, I would.
Whose ass would be to whose face?
Your face, his ass.
I was going to say, why would you attack a donkey with ass on? No, I think I'd do it face to face, but good old fisticuffs, keep it fair.
Well, like the Australian guy who punches out a fucking kangaroo.
Yeah, I mean, kangaroos straight off my list. Fuck that. They can proper fight back. No.
Have you not seen that where a kangaroo's got his dog in a headlock? Man, Australians, they are the best, aren't they? They're just. My videos next week are all going to be Australian based. Just so you know, probably include that one.
Fair enough. I won't go into what I was just going to say then, because I'll probably chuck that in as well.
Go on, say it, because I can always pick different videos. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to talk about the most Australian paraglider ever. Have you seen him?
No.
Or he comes down on his parachute.
Yeah.
As he's coming down, he's got the GoPro. It's all GoPro footage, and it comes down, and you see this kangaroo bouncing across this thing towards him. It's obviously seen. He's coming over for a look. So as he's landing, he's like, "Hi there, Skip," like that. And the kangaroo just gets up on its tail and starts attacking him. And he's like, "Oh!" And he kicks it away. He's like, "Fuck off, you cunt!" It's so Australian. It's so good. They're
so funny. I mean, they live in probably one of the world's most inhospitable places ever, but they're so brilliant with it.
I think I've mentioned my thoughts on Australia before, haven't I? I just can't see the benefit of living there. Everything there is designed to kill you. The weather, the animals, the people, the food, you name it. Everything there is designed to kill you. It's just not somewhere we were supposed to live. So
no, that's why we sent our prisoners in Australia.
There.
I mean, I've never been there. I would love to go. It's just, I mean, I don't really love the heat, but I'd still fucking love to go. It looks like such an amazing place.
Would you like a little snippet of knowledge?
Yeah, love a bit of snippet of knowledge.
Do you know why they call us POMs?
Is it because of these things?
No. It's actually spelled POHM, and it stands for Prisoners of Her Majesty.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Well, you fucking do now.
Oh, it's true, Sheila. Yeah. No, I didn't fucking know that, mate. That's
another one of those little things that just got stuck in my brain and won't fuck off.
Oh, well, I'm lost for words now, Mushu. Unfortunately, you've blown my brain. You've
Sorry,
broken me. Was that all the videos?
That was all the videos, mate. Yes.
Well, there you go. That's it. That's the end of our stupid little YouTube clips.
Yeah, and you even got a bonus section on Mushu's animals he could beat up list.
Yeah. What other animals would you take on then? I mean, I don't want to hear about more domesticated. Okay, on dogs, what size dog would you go up to? Would you take on an angry?
No. I wouldn't take on an angry dog.
Well, any like a cocker spaniel. That's a fairly decent sized dog. It's not too big, not too small.
Nothing.
No.
I don't like angry dogs.
What about a rabid chihuahua?
No.
It's got a head the size of a.
That's worse than an angry
lemon.
chihuahua. That's like on a scale of like shitness. You've got like a normal chihuahua, like just the horrible little snarling quiver rats.
Yeah, they are pretty awful.
Then you go up to the next one, which is like angry chihuahua, which is just like constant like noise. And then you got rabbit, which is where they're like the angry one, but they give you a disease at the same time.
Yeah, but all you have to do is spit at them, and they get real like pissy with you, don't they? Like, oh, he's all wet. Don't want that. They don't like water, do they?
Do they not?
No, rabid dogs hate it. They got like a fear of water. It's part of. You never read Cujo?
No, I think I watched the film when I was younger.
The same difference. It's one of those TV ones, isn't it? Where they Stephen King books. Seems that all of them in the 90s just got turned into pretty shit TV movies. You got It, Tommyknockers, Thinner, which was I think one of his. What's it called? But the Shining. They made the Kubrick version, and then they made a TV shit version of that. I think we've mentioned that one before. The Stand, obviously the most current one because they've remade that. That's coming out at the moment. I don't know if you've been watching it.
No, I haven't. I was going to, but I wanted to wait till I've got all of them because I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah, I would love to, but I've been waiting for it for fucking ages. It's different. They've taken a totally different approach than the last movie. But I really quite like it. I think the casting is absolutely amazing. Obviously, the effects are second to none after the previous one. They didn't have any apart from the Hand of God, which was garbage.
I think we've previously shown the Hand of God, haven't we? In like episode
was that like one of our first episodes? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been getting huge flashbacks to. I think our first episode was zombies, wasn't it? We talked about zombies.
Apocalypse, I think.
Apocalypse, yeah. And then
so zombies obviously came up.
Yeah, went off like a tangent for an entire subsection for like an hour and a half or something, wasn't it? I'm currently reading, whatever, to a series of books called The Undead.
Yeah.
I did send you a message about this. They are fucking brilliant. It's a nightmare because it's like 20 of the fucking things. I'm on like book. I've nearly finished number 7. I'll be like starting number 8 tomorrow. It's going to cost me a freaking fortune to get through all of these. But it's set in England, which I love automatically. But not only is it set in England, it's set in fucking Hampshire. In the first book, these guys, the main protagonist is a 28-year-old called Howie, who's a manager at a Tesco. But I worked out, based on when it was written and the references, he's my age exactly. So when it was happening, I was just like, motherfucker, it's literally my age, give or take like a year. So he's like fairly relatable. And they go down Portsmouth. As they get to Portsmouth, he's like, I fucking hate this city. It's a proper shithole. And I was like, it is a shithole.
Yeah, everyone thinks that when they get to Portsmouth. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it is a total shithole. But they go to the Isle of Wight. I used to be in a choir as a youth, and there was a big zombie battle in the church. All Saints Ride, the big one at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit where they end up running from Puckpool Park to that church with zombies chasing them to try and get. I know that's really fucking far.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean they're basically army men, aren't they? But there's this local girl, and she's like guiding them around, and obviously Union Street and all of that is all like a really steep hill, and they're running up, and they're like, "No more fucking hills!" Like they're just like dying from running up these hills, and then they have this massive battle in my old church, which is just, and I'm not a religious person, just to clarify. This was when I was like a proper young child. Yeah, it's just been absolutely brilliant. They talk about the sort of the spit forts. It's all dicking about the Solent and over in Portsmouth. It's just been absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly recommend it if you're into the zombie genre and you want just a throwaway entertainment, like a holiday read. You know, the sort of thing you're probably not going to read more than once.
Yeah,
I recommend the Undead series because it's brilliant.
I have to say, it has been recommended to me already in the books section of the forum on our website, www.pacifistpodcast.com.
I didn't realise there was a book section.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was that mentioned it. So apologies, but thank you very much. I am going to check it out.
Yeah, it's so good. It's proper fun. Do you know what? I've been putting stupid little "what would you pick" posts up on the Facebook page because seems people love that shit.
Yeah.
And I put one up the other day. I'll put it on the screen now so everybody can see which one it is. It was if you could only choose one chocolate bar. Did you have a look at that post?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. I don't. Let's see if I've got it on my phone. If I have, then I can give you the options. And if I haven't, I have. No, that's crisps. Did I do a crisp one as well?
Yeah, you did a crisp one as well.
I did a crisp one as well.
Yeah. It's like you've been starting yourself this week, and
yeah, exactly that. Okay, no, I don't have it to hand. Well, either way, there was a lot of chocolate bars on there. But the one thing I noticed going through the comments, and there was a lot of comments, double deckers seem to be the most popular chocolate bar out there.
Runaway winner, that was. Everyone loves a double decker.
I mean, I love a double decker, but if it was the last chocolate bar that you could, I mean, from that list, because it didn't have all of them on there, it was. I wouldn't pick a double decker.
No, I'm with you. I'm afraid it's a bit too busy. You know, it almost doesn't qualify as a chocolate bar because all it is a chocolate covered load biscuit of something else. Yeah,
well, it's nougat biscuit and a little bit of chocolate, isn't it?
For me, I'm an Aero man or a Whisper.
Whisper's what I chose.
Yeah, Whisper, lovely.
Yeah, it is lovely because what I was thinking was if I wanted a fucking chocolate, there are other chocolate bars that I prefer, like a caramel. You know, the one with the sexy rabbit from back in the 90s.
I think we all know the one with the sexy rabbit.
Know the sexy rabbit. Yeah, she wasn't a fox. She was a rabbit. Yeah. I love those. I think they're absolutely delicious. But if I couldn't just have like a normal bit of fucking chocolate, I would rather just have a normal bit of chocolate than one with caramel in it if that was my only choice. And there wasn't a dairy milk on there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so surprised that given those options, almost half the people picked double deckers. I mean, yeah, I do like a double decker though. Okay. They're in the tub of heroes.
Me and you are not the benchmark for an archetypical sort of human man.
Well, I don't think it was mostly women commenting on that post. It was a chocolate one, mate. In fact, apart from me,
that probably supports that theory even more.
yeah, exactly. I'll just have a Whisper, folks. It's like the most boring option, but it is the one that I would be most disappointed.
Right, we need to find a bloke's version where there's just like all different types of spirits.
Yeah, but then the girls would just be like, oh, gin, vodka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forget women enjoy drinking too,
and I think they're way better at it than blokes are.
yeah, no, the truth.
Yeah, hugely so. We've been chatting away for actually, I have no idea how long we've been chatting away, and I've still not finished my one bottle of Corona that I started at the fucking beginning of it. But such is life.
Like getting your money's worth from the pub.
Yeah, no, if I was in a pub, oh my God, I'd be on it so hard. I had some friends, you know, when you were allowed to go to a pub and you could have like 2 pints as long as you ate a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple of my work friends met up on a Sunday. They broke the law. And they went to 4 pubs. They had 4 meals. Just so they can have a couple of pints in each. I really respect that. Like, to me, that sounds like the best day ever. But they were like, I just have I had a garlic bread and some chips in one, and like cheesy chips in another. I had a burger in a different one. I was like, you must have been so sober at the end of it with all that food. And like, it was a stretch to get drunk. Yes, but yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I've been on the wrong end of having to eat a second dinner one after the other, and it's not a fun experience. It's not.
Depends what the dinner is. I mean, if it's a shit dinner, the first one, and the second one's a good one, you'll always find room, won't you?
2 roast dinners in a row.
Ooh, that's tricksy.
One of them was like a challenge in a pub. The first one I had was like a roast dinner challenge. They bring out this massive platter, sort of give it to you, and they're like, "Oh, if you can finish it." So I fucking polished it off. I'm like, "Yeah."
Is this why you don't like roast dinners?
I'm not a big fan of roast dinners. I never have been, to be fair.
No.
Nah, just too much faff, aren't they? It's always so much preparation, and then like it takes a lot of time to cook, and then like 10 minutes of mediocre meal, and then it's fucking washing up and loads of. It's just.
I understand everything that you've just said there, and I agree with most of what you've said there, except for the mediocre dinner bit, because a decent roast dinner is the shit, man. If you're having a mediocre, it's like if you were to get a roast dinner from Wetherspoons, you've got a really, and actually, pretty much every single pub roast dinner, it's almost always shit. There's never enough potatoes. They're never crispy. The gravy's usually fairly good. That's literally all my comments on it. I've been to really nice pubs and I've had their roast dinners and I'm just like, it's all right. Burger probably would have been better.
It might stem from my childhood. I feel comfortable saying this because I know my mum can't work Facebook or any other social media, so I feel comfortable. But she wasn't great. She wasn't great with roasts. It had to be beef because my dad he only ever liked beef. Occasionally we'd have lamb or something like that, and that was all right. But most of the time it was beef. And my dad liked it well done.
Oh, what?
And it was just literally, you could have made shoes out of this stuff. It was like just slabs of just like raw leather. It like take 1,000 chews to try and chew it down. The other thing my dad liked to go with a roast, broad beans.
I hate broad beans.
What kind of absolute fucking serial killer likes broad beans in a roast dinner? I'm even thinking about them. The texture, everything about them is fucking vile. They're hideous.
I don't like broad beans unless they are in. Do you know the Graze Company? They do these little like snack packs of semi-healthy snacks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can get these packets of this, like they're sweet chili, and it's like hard popcorn kernels that you can bite through them. They're not like raw ones, and they've got like broad beans in them that have sort of been dried and then coated in spicy shit. That's the only way I'll enjoy broad beans.
No,
they're fucking gross.
These things, God bless her, she managed to do them somehow. So they were like really sort of hot and sweaty on the outside and wrinkly, like and then you bite into them. It's weird. It was like eating some sort of organic ravioli filled with crematorium ash. It just sort of like dust.
That's a
inside.
really accurate description of them, and the outside's always a bit leathery. It's how I imagine a ball bag would be.
Yeah, and you always end up swallowing most of it, but end up with the skin in your mouth still.
Yeah, all shuck.
Yeah,
shuck and dust. Ugh.
Yeah, so that's probably why I've never been that into roasts.
That's the shittest roast ever.
Yeah,
crap overcooked beef and broad beans. It's always disappointing when there's broad beans on the table. And I think in America they call them limers. Oh, okay.
He came up with curried roast potatoes, right? And they were fucking incredible because they were like, he was determined to do it. He tried so many times. Bless. He put our family through so many cases of the shits. It was that fucking toilet door was going like a saloon. No, but he finally perfected it with just like a hint of curry flavour to these roast potatoes. They were so crispy. That was the only reason. In the end, I was sort of had to ask Mum to fuck off the rest of the roast because give me a plate of potatoes. You know?
I presume that he was putting a sprinkle of curry powder into his oil when he put it into the oven to preheat, and then putting his potatoes into said bubbling oil and coating them that way. Is that how he was? Oh, well, that's what I would do if I was going to try it.
He was insanely proud of the fact that he'd finally cracked it. It literally took him months. and he was like a literal mad person. he was sitting there cackling at the dinner table. I've done it, and I'm fully expecting him to take that recipe to the grave with him, just so he's got something to take with him to the grave.
A crack of lightning in the background while he laughs like a maniac. I've got it, Igor. Fetch the children. Amazing. As nice as they sound, I still don't want them on a fucking roast because it's a roast. I don't want curry and gravy. What kind of maniac eats that?
Yeah, see, there's a lot of emphasis at the minute of trying to make the roast trendy again, isn't it? Like people that do these Yorkshire pudding wraps and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they look all right, but
yeah,
it's not a roast though, is it? It's just a wrap with a roast dinner in it.
Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. I just don't like roast. Give me a Mexican or something like that any day, like Mexican food, like not a Mexican.
Oh shit! Sorry, you've just. I have no idea how my brain's just gone to this, but you know when both of us have a bit of a habit of being sarky fuckers on Facebook posts as a bit of a rule. Okay, yeah. I got one earlier. On this fucking free shit page, people just like, oh, has anybody got this? Has anybody got that? And some woman put a post up saying, has anybody got an oven for a pregnant woman? I think you can see where I'm going to go with this comment. I just wrote, you need a fucking massive oven for a whole pregnant woman. No one had anything to say. Nobody had a fucking oven. The post got no likes or interactions. It's just dozens of likes on this fucking stupid sarcastic comment.
You killed the whole post.
Yeah. I sort of love it when I do. I do it all the time. I'm just awful.
Oh god, yeah. I'm having so much fun on Facebook at the moment with there's so many people to choose from, isn't there, to have fun with. Trump supporters are great.
Yeah.
The coronavirus has given me loads of meat out there, people to pick on.
It's endless. Do you find that sometimes you just bullshit? So sometimes you'll be like a full believer in coronavirus, and other times you're just like, no, I don't believe in anything, just to wind people up.
No, I'm more of a sort of SJW sort of type, if I've got to be completely honest.
Oh, you're always just as worrying. You loser.
I like calling out the dickheads, the people that are spreading fear and misinformation and shit like that, because it's just easy when you actually bother to research facts and shit like that. It's
research. I've researched it on YouTube.
I'll have you know, I was actually thumbing through the pages of the Lycett Medical Journal the other day.
Oh my god!
Interactively, of course, online, but I was that determined to prove this fucking idiot wrong. I had to sort of do some research into how these protein-based vaccines work, and I wanted to get it from a decent source. So, but
wow,
he didn't reply to my comment. That's the gayest out ever. Sorry, no offense to gay people, but that's such a lame get out. Just like, I'm just not going to reply then. At least go on there and be like, touche, you know? Come on.
Touche. Oh, fucking hell. I am. I've lost my train of thought because I was thinking about fucking corona deniers or Holocaust deniers or whatever.
Holocaust deniers.
You lump them all in together, don't you? They're all one and the fucking same.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if ever there was a time to open a tinfoil hat business, now is it.
Honestly, constant lockdowns for the state of a year is just broken people.
Hey, do you know what? We should add that to the merch line on the website and add the Pacifist Podcast tinfoil hat. Buy one for a fucking moron near you. Can you imagine the satisfaction of just walking into work and just popping a tinfoil hat on Dave, the fucking div from down at the council or something? You know, you have that. Lovely.
Oh, it is ridiculous. But I'm fully fucking sick and tired of it now. I'm still following all the fucking rules. I'm still wearing all my masks and sanitizing and doing all of that, but I'm done with it. I'm so done with it.
I think I've been dishing out a bit of encouragement as well, to be honest, on Facebook, because there's a lot of old people that are quite frightened at the moment of what's going on, like especially
as
with the
they should be.
Like there's a lot of fear and misinformation around the vaccines and stuff like that, and it's getting to people. And there's a lot of people sort of posting up on Facebook saying, "Oh, I've been for my vaccine today. You know, I was really scared and all that, but I've gone and got it done." And the amount of shit they get is like, the way I see it, they wouldn't post it on Facebook if they weren't proud of themselves for doing it. And that's someone that's just overcome something that they're genuinely quite terrified of, and that deserves a bit of praise in my book. So,
well, fuck you, because I don't think it does at all.
and then on the flip side of that, I'll go and make someone else look like a right cunt.
Oh, it's just after fun, isn't it? I got into
Such is the joy of the internet.
I was abusing someone the other day because of we had some snow, so I was meant to be working on Sunday, and I told my managers, I was like, yeah, I'll work on Sunday unless it's snowing. If it's snowing, I ain't fucking working. Not because I have a problem working in the snow, but because I wanted to go play in the snow with my boy. And yeah, all of the local pages were just like, just because it's snowing, you're not meant to be outside, rah, 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 rah. And yeah, I got into a bit of an argument with a couple of local morons on that as well. So they're like, you're meant to be staying inside. I was like, I'm not having a fucking orgy in the snow, man. I'm literally just building a fucking snow and throwing some snowballs at my boy. It doesn't fucking make any difference. It's like, we've been inside for a fucking year. Get over it. Enjoy the little things. You know, that's my time. At least I've got some nice memories behind it.
The problem is the rules are all there, and they're all so strict because people are fucking idiots and can't follow them.
Yeah.
If all that's required from people in a perfect world is employ your common sense. But unfortunately, the average person, and I'll probably include myself in this quite happily, has the common sense of a fucking sponge. And that's why they need to be told over and over again with increasing force, this is what you need to do. If everyone just employed common sense, we'd be fine. We'd probably be out of this fucking lockdown already.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've had it scheduled for another few more weeks anyway, didn't they? But I remember the first lockdown, and the roads were fucking empty. There was never anybody around, and this time that is not the fucking case.
Yeah,
I don't know whether or not that's. I don't know if that's because all the businesses are open more or what, but like, I moved into this place during the first lockdown, and it's 20 miles from where I work. Is it 20 miles? It doesn't fucking matter. And driving here was a fucking joy. There was never anybody on the roads, and every single day, even at 4:30 in the morning when I leave, there's still just people about all the fucking time. So I just presume that all the businesses are just open. Except the ones I want to go to, like game shops.
Yeah.
Or a hairdresser. A fucking hairdresser. Jesus Christ. I mean, I hate getting my hair cut as it is. I really hate having to have it washed by other people. It's like genuinely one of the few things I despise. And then having to have it done whilst wearing a fucking mask. It's tantamount to fucking waterboarding, that is. Cover your fucking mouth and then have people splashing around. And then pay for it.
Been a long time since I've had a haircut, mate.
Yeah, well, fuck you. Oh, absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and that's what I wanted to say. We talked about chocolate earlier, but I got distracted. Are there any chocolate bars out there that have been discontinued that you really, really miss? Can you think of any?
That have been discontinued that I really miss?
Yeah, because like it always used to be, you'd have the Whisper, and then they'd bring out the Whisper Gold for a and you'd be like, oh yeah, it's a Whisper, but it's got caramel down the middle. And now it's like a permanent thing, and it turns out it's like, it's all right, but it's not the best thing in the world.
Not that I can think of. I'm not a big chocolate fan. Like,
no. Do you remember Fuse bars?
I remember them. I don't think I've ever had one.
Oh, I used to love those. They'd like everything in them. A biscuit, bit of nut, bit of fruit, some chocolate. They were amazing. It was like during my GCSE times, a long time ago.
If you ever give me chocolate and you've got the nerve to fucking slip a raisin in there or anything like that, me and you are having words.
Ha! I'm not giving you chocolate. I'm not giving you anything. It's going to be spicy pickles.
I didn't do it.
I didn't bother doing it. Well, we weren't allowed to go out. I was like, I'm not making fucking 30 jars of fucking pickles if I haven't got people to pass them off to.
Just for reference for people who might not know, Sam makes the most incredible spicy pickles, and they literally drop through you like a warm cannonball.
they're
amazing.
They're quite something.
I've never had indigestion just from waving one under my nose. I had indigestion before I'd put it in my mouth. It was incredible.
Yeah.
One of them with a fucking 4 Rennie chaser.
For Rennick chaser, yeah,
That's
you
not bad.
definitely need a shot of fucking
Milk.
milk of magnesia.
Like thick, pulpy milk, like goat's milk or something.
Yeah, just eat a bit of magnesium rhythm. That'll sort you out.
Yeah, fucking incredible. And lockdown was a perfect opportunity to get them all done. I'm ashamed of you.
No, it's not, because the shops are all fucking shut. You got to go buy things like jars and onions. Also, have you ever peeled like 200 small onions?
No, because I'm not a Russian prisoner.
Well, I have, and my fingers went a funny colour, and they smelt like a fucking French person for about 6 days after. It was genuinely an unpleasant experience. Although the pickles were pretty good.
Talking about smelly fingers, I don't know if I've mentioned, but I used to be a fishmonger. You haven't mentioned the fishmonger. You mentioned the butcher, the police. You went to a country called Iceland or Tesco. I work behind the fish counter in a supermarket.
That's definitely Morrison's.
No, it's not. But
wasn't it?
No. Much
other supermarkets are available.
Yeah, I won't name which one, but I was a partner. Put it that way.
Waitrose.
And yeah, and it was like that. You could scrub your hands after every time you touched fish, but you'd always slightly smell of fish.
Yeah.
And it was the worst. And you'd find little fish scales underneath your nail cuticles and stuff like that. But yeah,
that's revolting.
I know, it's horrible. But I could never shake that smell of fish from my fingers. Awful.
Oh God. That's horrific, Mushu. I mean, I like the smell of fresh fish. You know, when you walk past the fresh fish.
Sorry, I say I could never. I did. They don't still smell like that.
I was going to say 20 years later, you still smell like tuna.
Why do I smell like a fucking prawn? Yeah, sorry, mate.
Like a prawn, like the one fish that doesn't smell. It's got no scent to it at all. It's just a woodlouse of the sea that just absorbs garlic really nicely, and that's the one you chose. It's just not like a little sturgis or a place, a cod, salmon.
I think we've already established that when my brain starts panicking, words just fall out of my mouth. That's what happened, and that's what happened. I got no excuse for it.
Oh, apparently so. Absolutely crazy. And I've never worked in a butcher's or a cheese counter, or I've worked at a supermarket, but I want to say a shelf stacker, but it's the exact opposite of that. I used to
destroy shelves.
I used to pick stuff off the shelf. Yeah, I was a picker. But yeah, for the home shopping department when that first happened, Asda, was bleak work. I didn't particularly enjoy it, although it was the first time I ever listened to the Ricky Gervais podcast. Did you ever listen to that? They made it into a cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I nearly died with laughter. That was so funny. Carl Pilkington, man, that shot him into fame, didn't he?
On the subject of supermarkets, we both worked for supermarkets, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to name and shame here. Sainsbury's, you can fuck off. Because when I was looking for a job, when I first moved back over to the island, I was after anything just to get a bit of money in. And I went to Sainsbury's. I applied for Sainsbury's for any job, literally anything. That is quite a broad spectrum. That goes from general manager to the trolley guy. Yeah. And I got called in for an interview, and I failed the online assessment thing.
How do you fail an online assessment for a supermarket?
My question exactly. And bearing in mind, the job I'd come from, I was a fully trained police officer. I'd done counter-terrorism search training. I was a tutor constable. I used to train other officers and stuff like that. Come out of that job, fail the online assessment for Sainsbury's, right? And I was so outraged by it. I argued the point. She's like, I'm sorry, we can't take your application any further because you failed the online application, the online test. And I'm like, well, that's obviously nonsense, isn't it? I mean, you've met me. I'm not a complete fucking moron. Who can I talk to about this? And she's like, well, no, we can't interview you at all. And that's how I got blown out from Sainsbury's. And the job I went on to was for the Ministry of Justice as a county court bailiff. So fuck you, Sainsbury's. You missed out.
You realise the manager was just definitely a pothead. Like, we can't have a fucking Rosa. Whoop, whoop.
Oh my
It's the
God.
sound of the police.
That never occurred to me.
We can't employ him. He's the feds man, isn't he?
Fucking go back in there, tear this up, and honk at him. Yeah, honk, oink, oink. So,
Honk at him. Yeah,
mate.
say the slang used for police is quite often honking. Fuck's sake, man.
Oh God, I think it's getting too late in the day, mate. I think
it is as well. Is it wrap up time? I mean, how long, I don't know. I've lost track of how long we'll be going.
We should probably let those few persistent souls get the fuck on out of here now. We've tortured them enough now with our endless bollocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just earwigging on a fucking nonsense conversation, isn't it? That's how it's all started, by the way, people. It's Rambo. When we used to play computer games together, it was just like, oh, we should definitely record our voice chats and put them out on here. And now we do this every week.
We did it, and now there's 4 of you that get to listen every week.
Yeah, and we thank you very much for it. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thank you very much for coming along. Like Sam says, like and subscribe if you can. It really does help. If you can share anything, if you see anything you like, please share it as well. We're not possessive or jealous. Check out www.pacifistpodcast.com for any merch and stuff like that. And
comment down below chocolate bars that have been discontinued that you want back.
Yeah, animals you don't think you could fight. Anything else you want comments for?
Yeah, how would you take on a donkey, from the face or from the ass?
Oh yeah, and would you be willing to get your kit off on Naked Attraction? There we go.
Oh yeah, you see, if we'd done a this or a this, it definitely would have been fucking a box or Naked Attraction. But we're not doing that because I don't want to do either of them.
Oh, God,
anyway,
yeah,
farewell.
Until next time.
It's been emotional.